Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. This is episode 656, and it is your review of The Great Dictator. As always, is the Nerd Chicano here to host the show alongside my wonderful co-host Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? We're going to do a wonderful Wednesday night.
Happy Valentine's Day to our patrons who are watching this live and early at
Or
patreon.com.
happy Friendship Day, I guess it's called in other countries.
Yeah. Well, in what's it called? In Latin America, it can be what's it called? It can be said as Dia de San Valentin, which is Saint Valentine's Day,
Mm,
or you could say El Dia del Amor y la Amistad, which is the day of love and friendship.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Well, happy Valentine's Day to our patrons who are watching this over at patreon.com/nerdcore at the $1 tier. You get this episode live and early before anybody else gets to watch it. And you're probably asking, these motherfuckers are doing this shit on Wednesday? What? It's like, they must really love their patrons that much. Yes, we do. But Brad's going to be busy on Thursday. So we decided to go ahead, instead of making Brad rush home on Thursday, so we can actually do the review on, before 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah, we'll watch the movie. So
Yeah, I was like, oh, I watched it early because I need to watch what's it called, Kingdom of Heaven for cinema conditions. So that's a 3 hour and like 40-some minute movie.
yeah,
So,
that's a long movie.
yeah. But at least after this, I can tell you, hey, Brad, start getting ready for this Seven Samurai episode. yeah. But yeah. So we're doing this a little bit early. But hey, Brad, how are you doing today, man?
Another day at work.
Your knee hurts.
My knee hurts. I dealt with entitled boomers. It is what it is.
You gone to the doctor to get that checked out, man?
It's fine. So,
No, what do you mean
fine.
it's fine? Did you actually go check it to see if nothing's actually wrong with it?
There's nothing wrong with it. I just skinned it. It's fine.
You skinned it, but like, how did you skin it? Did you like land awkwardly on it? How did you?
So when I hit the ice, my right leg went that way, and then my left leg went the other way under me, and I basically did a split, and my left leg just grinded across the concrete.
If it still keeps hurting for another week, bro, you should probably go check that out with the doctor. See, you didn't pull anything or tear anything. I know you'd be in more excruciating pain if it was a tear, but
yeah, it's not a tear. So it's just it was worse Monday when I was actually standing on it more. Yeah. But I iced it, took some leave, and it's been good for the past day.
I know you're on the older side, but doesn't mean that your knee needs to be hurting for this long.
My knee's fine. I think your generation taking Tren and everything need to wash themselves.
I'm not drinking Tren.
No, your generation.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna outlive everyone.
Yeah, sure you are, Brett. Well, you have.
If I don't injure myself or fall off anything, that's.
Hey, you've escaped death multiple times at this point.
I mean, yeah. Jesus don't want me for a sunbeam. We know.
No, yeah, but yeah, I worked today. That's all. I worked today, and I have some shit that I would like to talk about, but I have to wait until Patreon for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Let's go. Yeah, but worked today. I watched this movie when I got home, and yeah.
Have you watched anything outside of this?
Started episode 2 of Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
I did see that on
the
site.
resources.
Yeah, on the resources.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Yeah, first season, and I'm checking it out. I'm waiting for Lulu Wang's expats to finish too, so I can get on that. That's next week is the last episode for that, so I'm gonna get on that once it's done. But other than that, probably watch Charlie Chaplin. Watch what's it called? Abbott tomorrow, Abbott Elementary. But
I haven't. I don't think I've watched anything. So
you haven't watched anything?
I don't think so. Nothing to report back on. Tokyo Vice drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then
catch up on
next
that
episode. Yeah.
I have a ticket secured for Madam Web on Friday though.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That looks hard. Yeah. That looks as bad as we thought it would.
So guys, I'll have you know this. if on Saturday afternoon you see that I post a shorts with a real small review of Madam Web, it means that there is no chance in hell that I'm going to have a full review of this movie out. If by any chance, and this is if there's a miracle in the heavens and everything was aligned correctly, and you see a review called Madam Web drop on Monday next week, it means we have one of the greatest movies of all time in our hands, or it was so bad that I needed to vent out my frustrations.
I'm going with the last one.
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
going. I'm going with.
I'm
There's
no
going to be a
longer.
short.
Yeah.
There's going to be a preview short of
Yeah.
him disgruntled, and he's going to think about it, and just think all weekend about it, and
Yeah.
just have to make one. That's what Roll is going to do.
Yeah. That's honestly, bro, that's as much as I'm gonna tell y'all. Honestly, man, I do not think I'm gonna have a lot to say about
I mean, it
it.
doesn't matter. You already spent your money on it. So.
Yeah, not my money.
Sony
I
got what
I
they
use
wanted.
my A list. I don't.
So Sony got what they wanted.
Yeah, my A list is taking care of this, so I don't gotta worry about it.
You still buying popcorn? You still buying a drink?
Yeah, but
Yeah, they got you. They got you, bro. They got
that's
you
more for
right.
AMC, not for Sony.
It doesn't matter.
That's
You're
for
still
AMC.
spending it to eat it in that turd of a movie.
Oh my god! All right.
I don't even know if I'm allowed to call it turd of a movie because I'm definitely not seeing it. But turd of a trailer, I will go.
Madam Web and How I Got the Movie Confused with an Adult Film, but 8 out of 10 would smash. Oh my god! All right.
Thank you, Markiplier.
Thank you,
AKA Stacy.
Stacy. Thank you, Stacey. Glad to always see you in chat. But I do want to go ahead and get this out of the way before we get out of here. We want to thank you all so much for 500 subs on YouTube. We made
Appreciate
it,
that.
guys. That is crazy to me because we have been pushing so hard to get 500 for a while, and we were really close. Like we were at like 470 something for a long time.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting there, and we finally got there. We didn't start doing video versions of this channel, like seriously, up until the pandemic started in 2019 and like 2020. Like honestly, it was like 2019 when we got StreamYard, and then like, no, actually it was 2020 because what's it called? I moved out of the dorm, so we started doing that. Before that, we were trying to do what's it called, a live show with OBS, but it was really bad, and it was so consistently having like an output on YouTube wasn't a thing until like 2020. So almost 4 years later, we did it. We hit 500 subs. So I'm really happy about that, and I thank you all so much for that. Brad, you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, thank you to everyone. I say it at the end of every episode. Thank you to everyone who listens, all our Patreons. You guys, stick with us. I feel like we've gotten better through the years, and
Definitely.
So hopefully, everyone also believes that. Thank you to Stacy, always joining us in chat, giving us someone to read off, bounce off, and hopefully in the future we'll have a lot more to do with that. And now that we've reached this very, very high goal of 500, not a lot of podcasts I don't think get to that even on YouTube.
Yeah.
Now it's up to 1,000, and then as I tweeted, 6 million subscribers and a movie.
Yeah, damn straight, damn straight. I'm really happy about that, guys. I'm really thankful for that. We're gonna keep growing. I want to get to 1K next, and the next big goal to me, I think, is just getting us monetized on here so we can start playing with that. But Brett has a point, guys. Like we're specifically a podcast channel here. Like all our episodes are more than 25 minutes long. We're not really playing to the algorithm here.
No.
Usually the algorithm is catching around 8 to like 10 minutes to 15 minutes of a video. We're not really playing to that here. We're doing a lot of long form content for y'all. So I thank you all for the y'all who have been sticking around, man. So it's so much fun doing this with y'all, and I hope we get to see 500 more of y'all join. Well, actually, right now, I hope we get to see 490.
Is it 91?
99, 499 more of y'all.
499. Also, watch out for more shorts. We're planning to create some more of those.
Yeah. As part of the 500 subscriber celebration, Raul will have a Manos, the Hands of Fate, watch along.
We didn't agree to that, right?
No, But I would like us to do a game night and do like a really nice, cool, like maybe like a 3 hour celebration.
Yeah, a
We
little
play
stream.
like we'll play that game that Julio wants to play with us.
Oh yeah,
Uh, Bro, this is actual fucking real movie. What the hell?
of course it's a real movie. It's Stacy.
It's an hour and 14 minutes.
I mean, we could.
It's on Tubi.
I mean, Stacy. It's on too, so it looks like dirt.
What is this? Hold on, man.
Are you gonna read? Are
A
you gonna read
family
the
gets
description?
lost on the road and stumbles upon a hidden underground devil worshipping cult led by fearsome master and his servant Torgo.
Torgal.
What the fuck is
I
this,
love how they
John?
don't give the master's name, but they give the servant Torgal.
Yeah. Well, master's name is the Master.
Uh, oh, all right.
Yeah.
It's not like Master Splinter or like just
No.
the Master. I've watched a few movies like that, but I don't think
There's a 2015 movie called
they're on Tubi.
My Hands, The Fate of Manos. Oh, it's a documentary.
Wait, there's a
Okay.
sequel.
No, there's not. Oh no, yes, there is, Brad.
Oh,
Manos
okay.
returns in 2018.
Of course.
We'll put a pin on it, okay? Stacey?
We'll put a star on that.
Yeah, we'll put an asterisk on it, maybe. Okay. I'm not gonna promise anything, but we want. I do want us to do a nice little 500 subscriber celebration here, play some games and stuff. It's a mystery science
Science
theater
Theater
3000.
3000. I kind of figured. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, but with that said, we're not talking about Manos today. We're talking about the Great Dictator, and of course, let's go ahead and get this ready, Brad. This is my pick, so I'm gonna go ahead and start reading here, Brad. The
Let's
Great
go.
Dictator. The Great Dictator is a 1940 American anti-war political satire black comedy film written, directed, produced, scored by, and starring British comedian Charlie Chaplin. Following the tradition of many of his other films, having been the only Hollywood filmmaker to continue to make silent films well into the period of sound films, Chaplin made his first true sound film. Chaplin's Chaplin's film advanced a steering condemnation of the German and Italian dictators Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini, as well as fascism, anti-Semitism, and the Nazis. At the time of its first release, the United States was still formally at peace with Nazi Germany and neutral during what were the early days of World War II. Chaplin plays both leading roles: a ruthless fascist dictator and a persecuted Jewish barber. The Great Dictator was popular with audiences, becoming Chaplin's most commercially successful film. Modern critics have praised it as a historically significant film, one of the greatest comedies ever made, and an important work of satire. Chaplin's climactic monologue has frequently been listed by critics, historians, and film buffs as perhaps the greatest monologue in film history, and possibly the most powerful, the most poignant recorded speech of the 20th century. In 1997, it was selected by the Library of Congress for preservation in the United States National Film Registry as being culturally, historically, or aesthetically significant. The Great Dictator was nominated for 5 Academy Awards: Outstanding Production, Best Actor, Best Writing Original Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor for Jack Oakey, and Best Music Original Score. Is Outstanding Production the equivalent of? Yeah, okay, that was their version of Best Picture back in the day.
Hmm.
In his 1964 autobiography, Chaplin said that he could not have made the film if he had known about the true extent of the horrors of the Nazi concentration camps at the time. Stars Paulette Goddard, Jack Oakey, Henry Daniel, Reginald Gardiner, Billy Gilbert, and Maurice Morskovich. Moskovich. And cinematography is done by Carl Struz and Roland Totaro. Edited by
Totoro.
Will Nico
Sorry,
and Harold Rice. What up, Brad?
I was just saying Totoro.
Yeah. Music is, of course, done by Charlie Chaplin, but also Meredith Wilson. And released on October 15, 1940, by the way, y'all. That's why we're not doing a spoiler warning here. And it sits at a runtime of 2 hours and 5 minutes, and on a budget of 2.2 million, it made $5 million at the box office. Yeah, from mostly worldwide rentals. Wow, oh, that's crazy. Brad, I've long wanted us to cover a Charlie Chaplin film because I'm gonna be real honest here. I've always watched clips. I've never seen a fully complete Charlie Chaplin film. The same thing I can say about Buster Keaton. I've always seen clips. I've never seen a fully complete Buster Keaton film. So I felt like, honestly, Brad, we were doing ourselves a huge dishonor here by never covering a Charlie Chaplin film, as he's probably one of the biggest figures of cinema itself. I mean,
I mean, I think I can state that what I know Charlie Chaplin from the best is a clip. It's the train clip.
yeah, yeah. And she never got around to it. I never got around to it. So I decided, hey, I wanted to talk about The Great Dictator. And I have to say, for a film from 1940, there is not a lot of movies these days that are as funny and as very spot on when it comes to their satire like this. And I think that it was a fantastic movie. I was laughing so much throughout the movie. And this Wikipedia article is right. That final monologue is one of the greatest, not just the greatest performed, but greatest written monologues of all time. And not just that speech, but the final what's it called thing that he says to the woman, and that last line that she says, she just says, "Listen," and it's one of the best like last 10 minutes of this movie, of all time and of cinema itself. Brad, what are your initial thoughts on the Great Dictator?
I just want to start off. We've covered quite a few. I would say we've covered quite a few comedies on this show,
Oh yeah,
from Mel Brooks to fuck, I don't know, name a comedy. We've uh, probably done a fucking ton. Um, but I don't. I think I can safely say this. This is one of the most important comedies I think ever made in cinema. And I don't
yep.
say that lightly. I honestly, that's how I feel about this movie, even after a single watch. Um, nothing. I mean, Charlie Chaplin went in this as Charlie Chaplin was brave to make this in the first place. Um,
Especially
eh,
while the U.S. is still in general like neutrality with
yeah,
Nazi Germany.
and it says 1940. This came out, and actually, um, they were
Wait,
making the movie in
39.
1938.
Wait,
1938.
38. Wow.
Yeah, so they were making the movie. I don't know if he's writing, making, filming. I'm not sure, but that's what I read was 1938 is when like production of this started, and that's when the Nazi regime was at its highest point. Um, like it was favored as the German party, and it was really something to come out. At that time, like no one knew the atrocities that Germany had made or was going to commit. And so for someone, especially, a very popular comedian like Charlie Chaplin, one of the most popular actors of the day, to come out and do the satire against them, that took brass balls. Like,
Fuck yeah, I did.
and throughout this
Wow.
film, yeah, throughout this film, you just there's so much weight to this movie, and I don't think you really feel this. You probably didn't feel this in 1940 at the time, but you feel it nowadays based on the history of all that's happened after. And even in today's standards, this still rings true in a lot. Even really, the final speech um, really rings true, and more people need to hear that. But again, like I said, I mean this movie is funny where it needs to be funny. Charlie Chaplin, fuck, I didn't realize how naturally funny he was.
He's so naturally funny in a way that like not a lot of actors are anymore. Like it's like you see people try to do this now and it just comes off as like really annoying and it's like really like try hard in a way. But Chaplin is just natural with it. Like
Yeah,
super natural.
I mean the barber scene that was a funny scene. Like throughout the movie, he does stuff that's
Beginning, Brad,
funny.
with the fucking airplane.
Yeah,
They're just
yeah,
under. He's like, "You want water? Okay." Whoa.
yeah. He's like, here you go. He's like, we're out. The
Bro,
plane crashes. It's just, I mean, it's extremely funny, and at the same time, you have the humor. You have this. It's like in the foreground of him just putting the Nazi party, he's putting Hitler and Mussolini down so hard. And he's just the commentary on this, it doesn't go unnoticed. It's right there in your face that, he thinks Hitler as a very feminine, dumbass, and
Yeah.
Mussolini is just, a giant egotistical troll. That's that's how these
Egotistical
characters
troll,
come
but
off.
who's willing to like be like his Hitler's bitch.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, the one scene where you have Chaplin, as the dictator, and he has his right hand man explaining, like, "Yeah, I've risen your desk and your seat, and I've given him shortened his seat, so you're always looking down on him." And that's one of the funniest scenes is this faux Mussolini, like, this chair is very uncomfortable. It's I mean, and for the amount of humor it has in it, it's like it's surprisingly true how that actually probably did play out.
So Brad, he worked on the story from 1938 to 1939.
Yeah,
He began shooting the film 6 days after the invasion of Poland in September 1st. During the 1st to the 6th, that man had to rewrite the script to somehow include the invasion of Poland.
uh, I mean,
Wow, what
Chaplin
a
was.
fucking
Do
genius.
you think Chaplin was kind of clairvoyant?
I don't know, Brad. And like I'm not we weren't alive at that time, so we don't know how much like if the news were reporting it that day that like Poland was what's it called was invaded.
Yeah,
So, you know, all I know is that he probably had between like 2 to 3 days to rework that script to
and
have
actually add that.
the invasion of Poland be worked into the story.
Well, and I mean, one thing the film didn't even include was, as he states in his autobiography, the concentration camps.
Yeah.
There's really nothing of that in the movie, but I don't even think Chaplin could go that degree of what he thought Hitler and Mussolini and any other one that dealt with the Nazi party and was on their side did.
Yeah.
Um, but still, the amount of time and effort in the writing in this, and then just to have the skill as a comedian to pull this off. Again, I say this is probably one of the most important comedies ever made.
Yep.
And I agree with Raul. That last 10 to 20 minutes
Yep.
of the speech, that's that's one of the best monologues ever written.
Yep. Ever written, ever performed.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love the music too. Music works so well in this movie. It's very like it just never feels out of place. And I just like I said, I'm so amazed at Chaplin, man. I'm almost kicking myself that I have never actually seen a complete Chaplin film.
And
And
for this to be a 1940 film, it does not feel like a 1940 film.
no,
This
no.
feels like they could have filmed it yesterday.
Also, the movie's 2 hours and 5 minutes,
It isn't.
and it like that.
Yeah.
It's paced perfectly. Like which movie did we just talk about? Fucking
Glengarry Glen
Glenn
Ross.
Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah, which like I think it's literally the same amount.
I think it might be. I think it's an hour 44.
Hour and
If I
40. I'm
remember right.
sorry, hour and 40 minutes. And it feels way too fast, and it's almost around the corner of what this movie's as long as.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think it's such a great movie, man. I really like this movie. I think it's one of the most important comedies ever made. Um, the fucking balls on Chaplin to make a movie that is literally making fun of these two dictators at a time when the U.S. was staying neutral when it came to Nazi Germany's atrocities. Which, to be honest, you looking back, you're like, how in the fuck can you do that? Like, how in the fuck can you sit idly by and be like, we're staying neutral to this? Like, we're not part of this.
Mhm.
And and you see Chaplin's influence on Mel Brooks and his films and producers. Yes, yes,
I think you see his influence on Mel Brooks probably in all of his films. To be
yeah,
honest,
yeah,
Mel Brooks has a lot of similar gags in some of his films, especially Blazing Saddles. I'd say.
yeah.
Um, I mean, but overall, for being the first Chaplin movie I watched,
Fantastic.
I am left odd.
Yeah. I know
I
next
think I
month is
DM'd
good.
you that night, and I'm just like, I don't know what I just watched, but freaking amazing. And Charlie Chaplin's got brass balls.
Yeah. Chaplin's birthday is in April. At the moment, right now, France. March is, of course, Kurosawa month because that's his birthday month. But I don't think we have anything for April yet. So if we don't see anything that could like take precedence over April, I think we might just pull an audible here and celebrate Chaplin's birthday on with Chaplin month in April because I want to see more now. And I've said it before, guys. We have to cover silent films. Like there, we've been ignoring
Yeah,
silent films for too long now.
we did
Um,
we covered one.
Nosferatu, yep.
Yeah,
But like, of course, I really want to see now how different it is. Chaplin in his silent era compared to like this sound era of films where he was where like you can obviously tell the comedic timing and you can really hear with the energy and
yeah.
with the performance. But
And I'm glad he lived. I'm glad he lived in the time silent, and then getting into what are they called, talkies,
yeah,
um, getting to that point so you can hear his, because he actually has a very decent voice.
yeah, he's great voice and he's just great actor, man.
Yeah,
This is definitely shot up to my list of my purchases for the Criterion sale because it is available through the Criterion channel on the Criterion collection. They have it on Blu-ray, so this is definitely going to be one that I want to watch. I want to buy for my collection, and yeah, I just I want to see more. I know that there's like apparently there's supposed to be like footage of actually of the production when they were actually making this movie. So I would like to see that because they said it says in the Wikipedia page that he filmed that literally that he filmed that final the speech he filmed it on the day after the or the day before the fall of France.
wow.
Yeah, so it's incredible, man. I really like this movie, man. I love this movie. I think it's perfect, man. I think it's a great movie, and it's one that, like I said, not a lot of movies that come out right now make me laugh as much as this one does, and that's saying something. That's saying a lot.
He was just naturally gifted as a comedian.
Yep, 100%, man. But any final thoughts, Brad?
Stacy has a final thought.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and with Snyder cut of Nosferatu out, you might have to rewatch it.
Oh my god.
um, I don't know what else I could like. This movie's
Well,
amazing,
I wish
and
I wish I could be a fly in the wall, Brad, of the moments that Hitler watched this twice, which
so
allegedly,
so me and Roll were talking this back when I watched this, and it's like, there's rumors Hitler didn't watch this because he didn't like Chaplin, he didn't like American cinema, but there's also rumors that he did watch it, and he
yeah,
watched it twice, and it just makes you wonder, like, was he going on a full fit of rage after you watched this?
literally is Inglorious Bastards. Nine 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 nine
Yeah,
nine
yeah,
nine.
yeah. So I that's how I like to picture it. That Hitler's in that theater. That it starts up, and Charlie Chaplin walks out in his Hitler attire with his hand like this, very very feminine, like he's holding a fucking tray,
Yup, yup,
and it goes just down from there for Hitler. And that's
yeah,
how I want to remember this movie. And I love thinking of that when I was watching. It was like, I hope Hitler just got to see this before he died, just so he could know how much of a bastard he was.
yeah. Well, man, Brad, what is your final verdict on the Great Dictator?
I think it won't surprise anyone when I say this is a classic comedy. This is a foundational comedy. This is a perfect comedy. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's why I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, man.
I'm giving it a 9.75 just because fuck Brad.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a 10 out of 10, man. I love this movie. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen and definitely what's it called? One of my favorite comedies of all time. It's just you just they don't they, it's just not like this anymore. Like it's
It's
not
not
as
so natural.
natural, it's not as witty
Maybe
and smart and
maybe Jim
brilliant.
Carrey back in the day had kind of a natural ability, but even then, sometimes it felt kind of forced. This
Yeah,
Chaplin, just a natural ability to be funny.
yeah. And honestly,
But
man,
if people don't agree with us, you know what you can do. You can hit that subscribe button. You can comment to us, and we'll comment back.
yeah. Yeah, and as always, you can keep up to date with us on thenerdcore.com, Twitter at the nerdcore underscore, Instagram at the nerdcore, TikTok at the nerdcore, Threads is as well as the nerdcore, and Discord link is in our description below where you can talk to us about the Great Dictator and all that stuff. But of course, if you're watching on the on the video side of things, please subscribe. Become subscriber number 502 and click the notification bell when you're done subscribing and leave a like on our video. Leave us a comment. Tell us, what do you think about this movie? Do you agree with us? Is it one of the best comedies of all time? And yeah, let us know. Recommend us some Charlie Chaplin movies that we can get ready for April maybe. So
Yeah,
we'll look at that. But we always love interacting with you guys, and we want to interact more with y'all. We always respond to your comments if you're nice about it. If you're
yeah.
calling us idiots and you're saying that we're uneducated and we're stupid,
Or ugly.
we're
That one's always fun.
we're not going to answer, honestly.
No,
No, we're going to leave it
we're
there.
just
So
gonna delete your comment.
delete the comment, or if it sounds really stupid, we're going to leave it there so you can look stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you're on the audio side of things, I would really appreciate if you leave a 5-star review on the feed and on your podcast app of choice. And please make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast app of choice as well. And of course, we want to thank our patrons. You can become a patron by going over to patreon.com/nerdcore, where you can sign up for the $1 tier to get this episode live and early before anybody else gets to watch it, like Stacy did, and you get to comment with us. Usually these are on Thursdays. This week was a little bit of a exception, so this goes up on Saturday still. So the patrons get an extra day with it. It's for those of you who weren't here for the live version. You can still watch it early before anybody else gets to watch it on Saturday. So we want to thank our patrons so much. They're the ones who make this possible. Without them, we just can't do it. Brad, we want to thank our wonderful producer Shane. Where can they find him?
You can follow our friend Shane at twitch.tv/XSRK or on Twitter at thriftedil, or go buy something from the Suppy God at prisoncityvintage.com.
All right, man. And as always, we would like to thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you guys for 500 subscribers, and we'll catch you all in the next one. Make sure you check out our latest reviews like Killers of the Flower Moon, Godzilla 2000 Millennium, and Dream Scenario. Those are up right now, so please go and check those out. But for now, Brad, let's get them the hell out of here.
All right, Raul, thank you for being host as always. Thank you to Stacy for joining us in chat today. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, yeah, fuck Nazis. Young Yoda out. Under the sea.
Let's see.